Hello everybody, welcome to Tpull's Corner. We've got a fun deck for you today. It's called Teaching the Dead. And the dead in this case is going to be our one copy of Faithbound Judge because we want it to die and then we're going to bring it back. And it's called Teaching the Dead because we have tutor cards that help us go get Faithbound Judge if we don't have it handy. So here we go. Oh, we don't have the right, we didn't put the right color down. I guess we can just go ahead and get rid of you so you don't draw cards. And they could transform that now for 2 damage, right? So they're going to draw cards anyway. And we'll do this again. And I think we need to get our second white mana source out. So here's a tap creature strategy going on. And let's go ahead and just flash this in. We don't want to make it seem too easy for them. Alright, that's right. Dig for what you need. Eventually the Faithbound Judge is going to be able to attack. Uh-oh. That's a little tutor card. When it has exactly 4 +1/+1 counters on it, you search your library for a card. Okay, what do we do against that? First of all, we make our instants cheaper. And then we see if this is going to work. Counterspell or no? It worked! So is this a mirror match because you have a search your library for a specific card kind of thing? Who do you get rid of? They get rid of the Faithbound Judge? Really? Okay. I'm just going to bring it back. Target you. You got 3 turns or you die. We can attack with a Vigilance creature, get rid of you, make our creatures cheaper to cast. They get rid of Bird's Eye, just to get some card draw. Oh, when that dies, they get a 1/1 with flying. We don't like that. That's okay. We will bring this down for starters. And then we will cast this. And we will exile you so we don't have to put up with a 1/1 flyer. So we don't like flyers. And we attack. Just make everything cheaper to cast. You can block it if you want. But that's going to make it harder for you to beat Sinner's Judgment without a creature to attack me. Do they have they got card draw out of that and everything. Survived, got rid of mine, got an extra card. We will block with that, not a problem. Can you survive a 5/5? Nobody got you another card draw, didn't it? Second counter from Sinner's Judgment. Pass the turn. And we could win with all of our creatures, but this is our alternate win condition with Sinner's Judgment. When you get 3 or more judgment counters on the enchantment, player loses the game. And they just quit because they saw it coming. So they quit before. It's like, you can't fire me, I quit. And they run away. And that's the deck. But let me go in and show you the whole thing. This is going to fit into 2 playlists. It's going to fit into the cheap decks because I've got the cheap framework that I use, the same cheap shell that I use for most of my decks in the cheap decks. We have 4 Jukai Naturalists. It makes enchantment spells cost 1 less to cast. And we have Sten Paranoid Partisan, which we can also choose enchantment. We just can't choose creature or land to make them cheaper. And we can spend 3 mana, and we can exile Sten and return him. So if we have the extra energy, we can save him from, chump block without actually losing him to a creature, as long as it doesn't have trample. And we can make targeted spells against him fizzle. We use all that because we want to take our 1 copy of Faithbound Judge. It's a mythic rare card. It's from Innistrad. Defender, Flying, and Vigilance. When it gets judgment counters on it, it loses Defender so it can attack. We can bring it back for the 7-cost Disturb as an enchantment or a curse, Sinner's Judgment, that again puts judgment counters on it at the beginning of our upkeep. And then the enchanted player loses the game. So we always enchant our opponent. And here's the thing. If we've got something like Jukai Naturalist out and enchantment spells cost 1 less to cast, the Faithbound Judge is a Spirit Soldier, but if he's dead and in the graveyard, it's an enchantment. The Disturb cost is going to get cheaper. So we found a way so that we can cast this for less than 7 mana. To help us out, we've got Bushwhack, so we can go search for a basic land. We've got Thirsting Roots, so we can search for a basic land, or we can Proliferate. The Proliferate will add an extra counter onto either Faithbound Judge or Sinner's Judgment, so we could win by sneak attack with Thirsting Roots. We've got Fierce Retribution for interaction. We've got Thrumming Bird. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, we proliferate. So again, another proliferation to help out with the counters there. We've got 4 Fauna Shamans. Discard a creature card, search your library for a creature card, and put it in your hand. So whatever other creatures we get, we're going to throw 1 away and go get our 1 copy of Faithbound Judge. If they have counter spells, we don't care because they'll end up in the graveyard most of the time. If they've got removal, we don't care because they'll end up in the graveyard most of the time. That's where we want it. If they have Graveyard Hate and exile it from the graveyard, that's when we have to rely on the rest of the deck to give us the win. We've got 1 draw card with Silver Scrutiny. We've got 4 Borrowed Times that we hopefully will be cheaper between Jukai Naturalist and Sten. And that's more interaction, right? And we've got 4 Leyline Bindings as well, because we've got 3 lands, so we can turn this from costing 6 to 3, and less than that if a Jukai or Sten is out. We've got Reject Imperfection for 1 counter target spell. It's got to proliferate as well. Carnivorous Canopy, get rid of artifact, enchantment, or creature with flying. If the mana value is 3 or less, we proliferate. Cemetery Prowler, whenever it enters the battlefield or attacks, you exile a card from a graveyard, and those spells cost less. So again, we could make an enchantment spell really cheap. Usually when I end up in these colors, I choose Sigarda as my 1 flyer. Flyer Trample for 4/4. By invitation only for a board wipe. Vanquish the Horde for the other board wipe. And 4 copies of Defiler of Faith. Whenever you cast a spell, you can make it cheaper if it's a white spell by paying life instead. Reduces only the amount of white mana you pay. And then whenever you cast a white permanent spell, you create a 1/1 white soldier creature token. It works really well with by invitation only, because you create a bunch of these 1/1s and then you can sacrifice them all and get rid of the opponent's little offensive line and you keep all your regular creatures. We've got one Tamiyo completed Sage so that we can tap down creatures, or if we get to the -7, we can create a notebook. Spells you cost 2 less to cast. And Might Stone and Weak Stone, which we usually use for the -5/-5 ability, or we could draw a couple cards with it. And those are the cards. It's basically, we're going to tutor using Fauna Shaman to try and get the card that we want to throw in the graveyard, hence Teaching the Dead. And everything else is geared towards making this one card cheaper for us to get out, so we get it out faster and hopefully win the game. And so not just the cheap playlist, but this is also going to work under our new playlist called the Tutor Dialogues, because I like talking about the tutor function, because one of my favorite cards when it first came out, way back in the early days, was Demonic Intervention? I'm going to have to look up the exact name of the card now. It was the first demonic tutor card. You spend 2 mana, you could go search for any card you want. It was before they decided it was overpowered, so mostly if you go look for any card you want, it's going to cost you 3 life if you're in black or something. It's not the best color, but it does get us something out right away, so we'll take it. I do need some green. In playtesting, our Kryptonite is Elish Norn, and it is astounding how many times Arena will throw Elish Norn at us, and on curve, Elish Norn. And we've got enough of these, so I think we just go ahead and get rid of the Somper now. And even though we're missing land drops, I mean, the deck is designed to make things cheaper, but we do need some land. Green is very good at ramping and getting out the really big creatures. There's a green source finally. And just in case they have haste, we'll hold back with Thrumming Bird for a second. Topiary Stomper again. And now it can already attack. This uses many journeys. That means they get to place an extra land, and no, instead. Okay, that's fine. We're going to put down the Jukai Naturalist, make the borrowed time cheaper, put down the borrowed time, get rid of the Topiary Stomper. They'll still get to draw a card. So they're still kind of ramping kind of hard on us. But we can proliferate and we can make this battle harder for them to get. Silverback Elder. Please don't have a 2-drop creature. Bushwhack. Okay, well, that's not the worst thing. Don't have another one. What in the world? Is this a mirror match? Because I had Bushwhack. That's disgusting. Alright, we'll do this again. You come down. Makes you cheaper. Get rid of you. I'm running out of ammo, and they got 8 lands to my 4. And they have an Argoth now, which is terrible for us. And the card that I want later in the game, they gave me early without the right color mana to cast it. And we don't have a lot of expensive cards, but as usual, I'm getting punished for 5-drops. Even though our opponent can get any color they want for just about anything they want. Let me just destroy that. I messed up. I was supposed to use that on Argoth. I think I just lost the game. Oh well. Must be nice. Still not hitting my land drops, so we're kind of, I mean, I can exile one of these real quick. But I'm feeling pretty hopeless. 9 lands versus 4 is a little sickening. I mean, granted, I messed up by... And they have 2 mythic rares of Awaken the Woods. And they have lethal. Needed a board wipe, didn't get it. Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad when you don't get the right color lands. Let's go ahead and look real quick again. Just want to make sure I'm not on crack. Okay, 60 cards, so I didn't go over. We've got 24 lands, which is the regular number of lands. I've got 2 ways to go look for basic lands. And I've got, you know, I've got a number of 5-drops or more than I usually do. Usually I say that I'm punished if I have more than 2. But they basically, they gave me a 5-drop, and they didn't let me go ahead and pay for the 5-drop until it was far too late. No matter how cheap I make my cheap decks, Arena still decides to land starve me at the beginning a lot. It's kind of depressing. But they had all the right cards they needed anyway for the ramping, and then the spells to capitalize off of the ramp, so I don't think there was a way out of that for us. I mean, if I got 5 lands and then I had my board wipe, I could have timed the board wipe just right. This deck kind of spits in Wizard's face right now because it's flying entirely against what the way they want us to play. In terms of tutoring cards. Because they are designing all their cards lately so that you spend a certain amount of mana and you look at the 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 top cards of your deck, and that's how you go search for the card you want. And they don't want us to have 1 copy of a card and go get that 1 copy. But we're taking Fauna Shaman and we're using it to go get the specific card we want because I only have 1 copy. And for those who are new, first of all, subscribe. And everybody we ask to like before I forget. But if you haven't been around this channel for a long time, we are basically a free-to-play channel. And I think I go ahead and get rid of Giada. If they've got a protection spell, I want to make them burn it now. So I've got a number of wild cards, but for the first 2 years of the channel, I did not spend a single wild card. And I did spend a bunch on... I think we just submit 0 for that. I did spend a bunch on commons recently, and that was probably a mistake. So I don't have a permanent wild card ban, but I am still kind of stingy with them, as I do want to demonstrate what you can do. Let's see. If we put this down, and then we fight you with it. The possibility of them gaining life is just too much for me to risk that right now. We do need to survive their threats before we can go on to everything else. So you're going to get rid of borrowed time. So we're going to play a fun game here. Actually, let's see. Let's go ahead and just get rid of this entirely. Jada goes away again. And then you can also go away. Alright, we're running out of ammo. Use Fierce Retribution on a 1-1. You're still at 20 life. I guess I'm kind of glad you did that. I've got other creatures that are more powerful than a 1-1. Alright, again, we don't have... Oh, we do have the right color. Okay. I think we hold and keep it ready for a counterspell. They're going to have a Planeswalker before too much longer, right? Guardian Savior. Return up to 2 creature cards with mana value 2 or less. No, we can't allow that. You have to go away. Mythic Rare card. I don't even think I have a copy of that yet. I'll have to look. Okay, we'll hold on to that. Take out the attacker if we can. Oh yeah, finally, something works the way we want it to. 5/5 Vigilance creature coming in. Hello, it's my turn. You had your turn. Thank you. I just want to come hit you in the face. Why does people run away when that happens? Destroy attacking creature. Okay, they had another one ready. Okay, fine. Another mythic rare. Get rid of that. Okay, Voice of the Blessed is worse, so... Been trying to save this for a bigger threat. But you can only wait so long. Here. They can cast it same turn. They won't think that's too big a deal. Plus, they'll gain a life off of it and pump him up, so they'll be happy. But we'll get rid of the 3/3 and be stuck with the 1/1. And now we need a little help. Good. Good start. Get rid of you. Go get the one we want. Bring down the one we want. As long as they don't have a borrowed time, I'm good. Yes. They could sacrifice Catilda and make the Voice of the Blessed a 5/5, and then put the Catilda enchantment on something else. So, I think we tap down one of the flyers.
Phyrexia's victory will be etched into the flesh of the conquered.
Do we just tap down Voice of the Blessed and invite them to attack our Planeswalker?
Bow before Phyrexia.
I think we invite them to risk attacking our Planeswalker. I think that was a mistake, right? I'll make that trade. Because see, here's the issue. We can bring this down now. Target a player. Keep you tapped down. We can attack
Our
with
will
the Vigilance.
cannot be denied.
Yeah, I don't have a flyer anymore, that's correct. Oh, hello.
I hope you're ready to lose.
Voice of the Blessed is now a flyer.
I have got new moves to teach you.
And you got lifelink on the other one. Ouch. Well, now we got 2 flyers.
You do not write this story.
I can't pay 3 for that. Okay. I think we just go ahead and we hit you there. And we can go and attack there.
I still have much to learn.
I did it wrong. I messed up. Okay. I got one more turn. Maybe I can get this done. Except they got 3 flyers now. I need 2 more turns for Sinner's Judgment to take effect. I think I messed up. I was supposed to get rid of Defiler of Faith with Fauna Shaman and go get my other flyer. But we could get one of the board wipes, or we could get an exile spell. Got enough of them out there. We're kind of due for another Borrowed Time or Ley Lines. Scardus. Oh, So much for my blocking with a 4/4. Oh, that kills me! They got me! Kind of slow, and I misplayed. Alright, I'll do better. They made the right call. Return that enchantment, bounce it back up into their hand. We get our lands that we want to keep for other stuff, and we have to use them instead. Thank you, Arena, for giving me the special lands first. And red probably has something to kill that anyway. Dragon Spark Reactor. Let's go ahead and get rid of that. Against mono red, we normally need a little life gain, so it's good that we're starting off with life gain. It was nice while it lasted. Missed a land drop. Mono red didn't miss a land drop. Urbrass Forge, could have seen that coming. Thank you. Red has problems with enchantments, so we should be, we should have a chance. The problem is I've noticed with Shieldred and Urbrass Forge, they tend to come early and often, so when you get rid of one, they often have another one the very next turn or within the first couple of turns. Missed another land drop. It's fine. We'll just expect them to have something to deal 4 damage. This isn't quite the quickest. I mean, if we hadn't gotten... Oh, hello. 3 damage to any target, and Flame Blessed Bolt to exile it. Hopefully they're running out of ammo. Okay, we're going to go look for a basic land. We need blue. We play the blue, and we wait. And we wait. I'm not used to waiting this long for mono red. Wow. Oh, we had to wait for them to decide to do nothing? Okay. I wonder if they've just got something to buff up the strength and they're wondering if I had something to stop them. I'm kind of okay even if they have another Urbrass Forge because I've got the Leyline Binding. Since I've got it in hand. Even if they keep taking out my creatures. To Inferno and Slash. Okay. Use everything they got. Hopefully they're running out of ammo finally and I can catch up. They got a lot of burn. Okay. Well, we still have above half-life. Let's go get some stuff. We want our enchantment to be cheap, and we want Thrumming Bird. We're going to throw away the other Fauna Shaman if that one survives. We wait and see what do they think is the biggest threat. They're looking at Fauna Shaman first. Sten's the trickier one when I have enough energy to keep him alive, so technically they should probably not have done that. Hello. Starting over? Okay.
I am privileged to carry true history to the other worlds.
Tap you.
Such an imperfect form.
Filigree Silex? Yeah, that's too slow.
You cannot delay our victory.
Use this one because the others have flash, so. And we can afford to attack just because we do have flash enchantments. So unless he's got 3 lightning bolts in the next 3 turns, we should be good. Well, there's one spell, direct damage. Me and my big mouth. All it takes is the team at Wizards that spy on my play to go ahead and make sure the next 3 play with fires come up top of his deck. Alright. Cemetery Prowler goes away. Faithbound Judge comes in. Faithbound Judge comes down.
Bow before Phyrexia.
I could use another lifelinker. Warded window, interesting. Tamia's notebook.
My notes process ignorance into intelligence.
Attack with Fauna Shaman. We can save the Planeswalker if they want to do something to it. Excellent.
You cannot delay our victory.
That's fine. Exile all cards from your hand, then draw that many cards. That does not help you at all. I don't think you're going to get to use that. Alright. Fauna Shaman. Gets rid of Fauna Shaman. And we go get Defiler Faith. Defiler Faith is cheap right now. All spells cost 2 less, thanks to Tamia's notebook. And you know what? Let's go ahead and get rid
Phyrexia.
of the boarded window. Just so I can get the maximum lifelink back. And here we don't even need to use the Sinner's Judgment to win. Just a Planeswalker who gets to use their ultimate. Get the emblem out. That always feels good. Alright, we'll do one more. So yeah, listening to the podcast of Mark Rosewater, he specifically said they don't want us doing this. They don't want us to have one specific card. They don't want us to go tutor for that one winning combination. They want us to have 4 copies of the cards. And I don't know if that's part of just the game economy that they want us to be spending. It doesn't sound like it. I think it's philosophically that's the way they think it's better for us to play. And I don't think that they should be adopting that attitude. You know, there's sometimes I'm flush with cash. In my younger days, I spent thousands of dollars on paper Magic cards. At this particular time, I'm a little bit light, so I'm not spending any money on the game right now. And it might have to be that way because I got, you know, car repair bills and stuff like that. So, you know, life happens. So if you can't afford all the cards, you make do with what you got. I think we just keep the Fierce Retribution dry. If they're going to do ninja tricks... Let's do this. Let's get rid of Darian now. I was hoping he'd sacrifice it just to spite me, but oh well. Alright, let's get rid of Wedding Announcement so nothing else gets beefed up. And that way we can still use Fierce Retribution if we need to. And if they go wide, we don't care because we have Vanquished the Horde. Oh, hello. Giving up your creature? Do they have a board wipe or something? Why would they do that? Missed a land drop. Take 4 damage yourself. We will do nothing. We've got a couple of responses. We just need 1 more land so we can get out our 5 drops. I just need 5 land to make the deck work, really. Even if we get to the point where we're bringing Sinner's Judgment out, I could probably do it for 5 or less if I've got the right conditions. Six creatures for 1. That seemed about the right time to do it. Yes, please get rid of a useful spell. Good. That's excellent. Pass, because we missed another land drop. Thank you, Magic. Come on down. Tap land, I'll take it. I will take it. Put down another creature, please. No planeswalkers. I mean, I can handle a planeswalker. Now, sacrifice doesn't help by invitation only, so perfect. Thank you. This one's gonna hurt. But they're tapped out. And they're getting low on ammo. Love that animation. Ooh, Tanyo, nice. It's a
Pyrexia's story infects the mind, becoming unforgettable.
Is this a mirror match? Are you gonna try and exile something from your graveyard? Would that be hopeful? What did they do? Planeswalkers make me nervous. Go away, please.
Revel in your minuscule victory.
Enchantments. Aha, our cost just went down to 6. I know I could have brought out a Ganjo. But that's okay. Urza, Lord Protector, is the bigger threat. Bring it on. Can I cast this? Sweet. You got 3 turns. But you get to draw 1 card at a time. One Mippapippy. Let's make this creatures now. We'll exile that. We'll bring down Defiler of Faith. And they know they can't beat Sinner's Judgment. Beautiful. We do get to low life. We do get to low health points, but we get the job done. So yeah, we're using the tutor effect. We're using it to go get 1 copy, because we don't have 4 copies. And I do have some Mythic Rare wildcards, but I'm very sparse with them. I only use them when I have to. Someday, maybe I will create a deck that has 4 copies of Faithbound Judge in it. But so far, I love the card. I love alternate win conditions. I'm a sucker for alternate win conditions. So I've had it in a number of different decks. And this is the only one where I've purposely focused on making it cheaper as far as bringing the enchantment out cheaper. But if you have like a Defiler of Faith out and a Jukai Naturalist out, technically if I had enough life, I could get this out for almost free. If I have the right conditions, if I've exiled the right thing with Cemetery Prowler. So it's a beautiful sight to behold. But as you can see, I can get by with the skin of my teeth. I've got about 8 versions of interaction there with the exile cards, and then 2 more with the board wipes. And sometimes that's enough, because I do have the 1 counterspell that can come up. And if it starts to drag out too long, I should come across Silver Scrutiny before too long and be able to refill my hand. In the meantime, the only thing I didn't get to show you is if I get Sinner's Judgment out and I can play one of these proliferation cards, and suddenly they have 1 less turn than they thought they did, and we say like it has 2 judgment counters on it, and suddenly I make a 3rd one. That really surprises people, because that's finally a way that I can win before they have a chance to scoop. Because they still think, oh, I got 1 more turn and he's got so little life, I can hit him next turn. I've got flyers or whatever, and then I break out with hit him with Thrumming Bird, or I hit him with Thirsting Roots, and I proliferate, and I win with Sinner's Judgment 1 turn early. So that's always a special throw when you get it done. But I wanted to make sure you were aware of that combo, even though I wasn't able to display it. So again, if you got any comments, go ahead and put them down on the thread below. I will answer them. Like and subscribe, and let me know if you do anything different. Thanks, everybody. Have a good one.